Church Cardiff is the spiritual life pastor, and that basically means that I oversee all of our kind of stuff that we do with prayer and also pastoral care. So yeah, I kind of oversee that and work in a great team of people who help me to kind of carry out pastoral care across the church. Yeah, so I guess like a pastor is like technically someone who shepherds and cares for a flock of sheep. So if you put that into like a church context, you hear that word quite like pastor quite a lot. So a pastor is someone who looks out for, cares for people within our church. And I guess in some ways, like there's a good vineyard saying that's been around for a long time, that everyone gets to play. So we, in some ways, we are all like pastors. We all are placed in different groups of people, and we all like have a responsibility, if you were, like to care for the people around us. So yeah, I guess like we are kind of responsible for that, but also we also acknowledge that there are times that we go through ups and downs in life, and sometimes we need other people to care for us. We need to be the recipient of that rather than giving it. So like when we talk about pastoral care, that is like probably a time and a place for you to receive care from other people. Yeah, so I guess like for you as small group leaders, like one of the biggest things that you can do is just welcome people and love them within your small group. And that says a lot. That is a big thing. Like it's a really like hard time to like be at uni, and being in a small group is a massive thing. Like, and we put such a high value on our small groups because they are where we do life together. So it's so great to be in a small group. And so yeah, one of the biggest things that you can do is just welcome people into your small group, care for them, and be interested in their lives. And one of the like biggest things that I would say that we can offer people as a leader of a small group is just listening to people. So you will, when you gather together, you will hear all like different people's stories, and I think that's one like massive thing, is just being able to listen to people well and ask questions, be curious about their life, and just want to get to know them. And also with that, when people like bring stuff up in your small group, and being able to point them to Jesus, like that is the biggest thing that we can do as a Christian leader, is always pointing people to Jesus. Like we don't have all the answers, and we need to point people to Jesus. So listening well, and then pointing people to Jesus within their struggles, within their life stuff. Yeah, and I think like another role of a small group leader within a pastoral care context is signposting. So if like some like stuff comes up within your group with someone that you're just not sure about what to do, or it feels like it's a bit out of your depth, it's a really good thing to be able to signpost that person on to maybe a more senior leader in the church, or to outside care. They may need professional help. So your job is not to solve all of their life issues and problems, but to signpost them on. But we can definitely like offer you support in that as well. So yeah, just like your job as a small group leader is to kind of listen well and ask questions, and if they need more support, then to be able to point them onwards, really. Yeah, there's like, I mean, there's just so many things, and I think quite often when you think something is a pastoral issue, it can sound like quite weighty or like a big heavy kind of subject, but actually like pastoral stuff is just like is life. And sometimes it might just be something like you're having a bit of a rough time, or someone in your small group is having like a hard time. Like financial issues or housemate issues or uni work, like just feeling a bit down in the dumps, and you just might need like someone to come alongside you to have a coffee or go for a walk, and just pray with you and do life together. So I think that there's actually like quite a lot of stuff like that is just like being able to come alongside people and support them. And that might not always be yourself as a leader, that might be a core person in your group who can do that. So it's kind of coming alongside people together. There might be other stuff as well, like mental health is a huge thing in our society at all ages at the minute, but particularly for you guys as students, that is a big deal. So there may be like stuff like anxiety, depression, other mental health issues that you're hearing a lot about. So that is also quite a big, pastoral thing that we have going on at the minute. So yeah, that kind of stuff. There might be relationship breakdowns as well. So whether that's guy-girl kind of stuff or just like friendship things. You might have that like going on in your group, or someone in your group is struggling with that, or like I mentioned, housemates and all that kind of stuff. So relationship breakdown is another one. Also just like stuff around sexuality and gender is also quite a big topic at the minute. You know, there's like loads of that going on too. So that might also be like a pastoral thing that's going on. You might also have like someone in your group who's got a friend who's having like suicidal thoughts, and they just need some support to help their friend navigate their friend through that, or to like get extra help. So some stuff like that. But also you might have someone in your group who is having suicidal thoughts and who confides that in you. So there might be like that, those are the kind of like bigger end stuff. So from like the kind of end of like just day-to-day stuff, needing that extra support, to like the bigger kind of stuff like suicidal thoughts or abuse and that kind of thing. Those are a wonderful delight of pastoral issues. So this is, I guess, just my experience from leading small groups over the years, but I think also it's just wise to make that person feel like safe and loved and valued as a part of the small group. And also with what they've just shared, they've shared something probably quite vulnerable with the group, so making them feel like they're in a safe space. If you feel like actually that's quite a big, heavy subject that might not be that appropriate to go into more with the whole group, but might actually be better in a kind of one-to-one, or you and another leader with them on a separate occasion, you might want to kind of steer it towards like that. So it would probably be a good idea to just like thank them for sharing and being vulnerable, but suggest that maybe we could like continue this conversation after the group at a different time, and just kind of like steer it towards that. That can sometimes be trickier than other times. Sometimes people read that and they're like, okay, yes, yeah, you're right, I've shared too much or whatever. But just like also, I think with anything pastoral like big that comes up, it is always good to cover it in prayer. So if they share something with you, with the group, I would then just say like all of those things, but maybe nominate someone that you trust in your group to pray for them, maybe another leader or yourself, and to just like end that time with prayer. And then and also just make sure you follow up on that. So make sure you're true to your word. You said let's arrange another time to talk about it, so make sure you then do that. Arrange a time to meet up with that person to talk about it, to pray. And also actually, if that is like a big thing and you are arranging to do that, and you kind of feel like you maybe need to get a bit more guidance on that from like a more senior leader in the church, and make sure you ask permission of the person who's confided that in you and the group, and make sure you have that conversation with them, just that you want to check in with someone else to get a bit more advice to go forward. Yeah, it's really hard to promise that. I think it's good to say that. It's really hard to say. I can't. I'm not going to promise. I'm not going to tell anyone else. Especially if it's something really serious, like an abusive relationship, or they're going to attempt suicide or something like that. It's really hard to to say I can't tell anyone. So I think it's really important that from the offset you say I can't promise that I won't tell anyone, because I care about you and your well-being, and this is important for that. So yeah, I would say like it's important to stay calm and take the person seriously as well, and reassure them that they're doing the right thing by telling you. But just reinforcing that you're not a professional as well, and that you might need to get some more advice from someone who is a professional, or who is a more senior leader. I think like your biggest gift to someone, I've already said it, one of your biggest gifts is listening and being curious and asking questions. So I would say that that's one of the biggest things that you can offer that person. Like if you're you're kind of listening on a deeper level. So listen really well, ask questions. To just, I think what people need a lot of the time is space to talk and process. So we can all offer that space. I think practically speaking, if it's like a deeper kind of, if it is a really deep issue and you feel a little bit out of your depth, it might be good for you to go along with someone else. So to do that conversation with another leader, like someone you lead with, or a more senior leader as well, like someone in the team, like Kitty, or someone in the student team or outside of that. But just like getting that extra support to it helps you grow as a leader as well, to do that with someone else. I think also it's really good to set a time limit on that conversation as well. So quite often with like these kind of deeper, bigger issues, they can, like, those conversations can go on for quite a long time. So it's okay to say we've got 1 hour, or an hour and 15 minutes. So I would like quite often say like give 45 minutes for you to chat to that person, to hear what they have to say, to just be a listening ear, and then spend some time. Make sure you leave yourself a good chunk of time to pray with that person as well at the end, and maybe like 15-20 minutes just to pray and to bring it all before Jesus, because when we bring things before Jesus into the light, it completely changes things. So I think there is definitely you definitely need to leave room to do that. And I think also it's good to kind of encourage that person then to go away and spend time with Jesus on their own as well. Maybe it's like journaling or praying more, or asking other people to pray for them. But just to like have more input into what they're going through. So I think if like that is, I think knowing how big a thing is, like, it's just something that comes with time and with leading, like for longer periods of time. So this might be the first time that you've led a small group, and that's completely okay. And if you're just not sure about things, then maybe just asking your fellow small group leaders. It's really important to remember confidentiality in all of this, like, and not be kind of talking to each other too much about it. But just like also asking the person that has told you like, if they've told you something, yeah, like just asking them, do you feel like you need a bit more support? Like, do you would it be okay if I spoke to another leader and asked them like if there was any more support for you or whatever? Just yeah, being able to have that conversation with them, and it is like hard to kind of weigh up. But I think like when it's something that you feel like you're a bit out of your depth in, like mental health stuff or suicidal stuff, abuse, that kind of thing. Those are big issues that you are not qualified to deal with unless you are a social worker or a counsellor or a GP or whatever. So you're not expected to do that. So those would be the kind of bigger things. So yeah, as I said, I am the spiritual life pastor, so I oversee all of our pastoral care within church. But and I also hinted that I also have like a team of people who are voluntary staff, and they also oversee some parts of pastoral care within our sites. So in our evening service, which most of you will probably be a part in Central Site, we have the lovely Holly Findlay who's just coming on board, and she's going to be overseeing the evening service pastoral care. But also we've got the lovely Becca, who you probably will all know, and she will be overseeing pastoral care for students, and also Sam Burns will be involved with that for the guys. So you have like an amazing team of people who are dedicated to students within our community, and so those guys you can reach out to. You've also obviously got other leaders around you. I would encourage you to get to know some older leaders in the church, like just people in the church who would love to get to know you outside of the student community. So I'd encourage that as well, and just other leaders within the evening service too. There's loads of people around you who would love to support you. So there is like a general support, but there is also that dedicated pastoral care support as well there for you.